No, I can't connect this thing. Do you know how to connect it? And I got the screen, but I want to share the screen. You see.
Share the screen. You can't share the screen. You just have to.
The screen is shared. The Golok Vrindavan is there, but I want to share the today's lecture. See.
It's transmitted through YouTube at the moment.
No. I want to connect my laptop to the screen.
Show his screen.
On the yeah.
The screen.
Is this on your
Yeah, this is on my laptop.
laptop?
So there, I need to share the other screen. You see. You need to go in settings, isn't it?
Go to screen, display.
Screen display.
Yeah. Minimize this, Prabhu. Minimize everything.
Minimize this one.
Yeah. Minimize that.
Okay. You want to go to setting?
Yeah. Click here and go to settings.
You need to press control.
Okay, that's setting here.
Device. Displays. Okay. Click on this.
No. I shall open it.
Yeah. Now open it.
No. I don't know what's happening. The screen. Yeah. I did it after all. Thank you. No, I can't see. I can't see the screen.
Mirroring display.
Complicated. No,
Go to device.
I even can't get the thingy now. Settings. No, I think I'll just leave it like that.
Just unplug.
Unplug it, okay.
Mirror the display. Go to
Display, okay.
device.
Device.
Device. Display.
Display there.
Okay.
There is one. Scroll down. There is some. Scroll up.
Scroll.
Huh?
Click here. Click here. If you go up.
Okay. Now you're on display. Devices, display, and now does it go up?
There is somewhere mirror display.
Yeah, I know it's not going. Okay, never mind. We're just wasting our time. No, it disconnects.
It says mirror display. If you can click this.
So if you disconnect, then I can probably do it.
I think you have to go into the setting on the display. So
Yeah, displays. Click on here, displays. There is somewhere mirror.
Display.
Here,
It's not going up anywhere. The screen's no. Search.
if you go to the setting and get the properties for the
Setting is there. It says settings.
display, this different.
This is display. Is it? I think I give up. No, can't do it. Yeah, I'll just start the class. We're wasting time otherwise. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. I'll just close it. Not happening. I got the here anyway.
So you're not going to use the screen then, the projector.
We can't use it because it's not working. No, see, unnecessarily wasting time. Okay, just quickly sing Radha Madhav.
Just focus to speaker.
Sorry about that. Thank you everybody for coming to Mangala Arati, third Saturday. We'll sing Radha Madhav for a few minutes and then we'll start the class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय पंचतत्व की जय और प्रेमानंद Why everybody is so far from you? Come near, please. Thank you. I had a long list of actually shlokas, but from the Bhagavatam, but I'll read it through. I thought I'll display on the screen. We can all participate, but somehow, and it's on frustration only today. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagara Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्तविंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, today's verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and Canto 7, 7th chapter, and verse number is 42. So it's a conversation between Prahlad Maharaj to the students of the class. See, but this verse was meant. He is narrating whatever he learned in the womb of his mother when Narad Muni was. So this verse is about that one only. So it says, Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavritah Anihaya Sukhavritah Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavritah Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavritah Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavritah. I don't think anybody can repeat after me. Sarvagya Prabhu, you can read it. Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihaya Sukhavritah Sukhaya Dukha Mokshaya Sankalpa Iha Karminaha Sadapnoti Haya Dukkham Anihayaha sukhavritaha. Okay, very good. So, sukhaya, for achieving happiness by a so-called higher standard of life. For achieving happiness by a so-called higher standard of life. Okay. Dukhaya mokshaya, for becoming free from misery. Okay. Sankalpaha, the determination. Iha, in this world. Karminaha, of the living entity, trying for economic development. Sada, always. Apnoti, achieves. Ihaya, by activity of ambition. Dukham, only unhappiness. Aniyayaha, and from not desiring economic development. Sukha, by happiness. Avritaha, covered. Okay. Translation is: in this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. Please repeat after me. Translation: in this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Every conditioned soul is bound by the laws of the material nature. As described in Bhagavad Gita, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai sarvani sarvasha. Everyone has achieved a certain type of body given by material nature according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishwaraha sarva bhutanam hriday deshe arjuna trishtati. Brahmanya sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Bhagavad Gita, that is 1861. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, is present in everyone's heart, and as living entity desires, the Lord gives him facilities with which to work according to his ambitions in different grades of bodies. The body is just like an instrument by which the living entity moves according to false desires for happiness and thus suffers the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease in different standards of life. Everyone begins his activities with some plan and ambition, but actually from the beginning of one's plan to the end, one does not derive any happiness. On the contrary, as soon as one begins acting according to his plan, his life of distress immediately begins. Therefore, one should not be ambitious, dissipate the unhappy conditions of life, for one cannot do anything about them. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Although one is acting according to false ambitions, he thinks he can improve his material conditions by his activities. The Vedas enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness or decrease distress, for this is futile. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovidha. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. Without endeavor, one can get the amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined. And one cannot change this. Therefore, it is better to use one's time for advancement in the spiritual life of Krishna consciousness. One should not waste his valuable life as a human being. It is better to utilize this life for development Krishna consciousness without ambitions for so-called happiness. So I had titled, it's not put it in the, they have not put it in the thingy, but the title of the today's class was Frustrated Ambitions. You see, so Krishna says, I'm in everybody's heart, and I collect all your wanderings. You see, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. You see, and He'll always guide us in the right way, because we have a free will, so we act according to free wills. You know, but He said you have ambitions which is limited to your power. You can't go behind those powers. You see, that's what. 1 minute. Huh? Yeah, it's difficult to do things according to our wish, because we are always under the control of Lord. See, Krishna, He is controlling us all the time. So whenever we want to do things according to our will, it can, as they say, man proposes, God disposes. So we can try to do something good for us, but if it is not destined to happen in our life, it goes in the wrong direction. See, that's what this purport says. Sukhaya dukham mokshaya sankalpaya karmana sadapnoti haya dukham anihayaha sukhavrita. So whatever everybody materialists want to be happy. See, but when we want to fulfill our ambitions without Krishna consciousness, without the life connected to Krishna, then those are frustrated, and those frustrations we lament and we blame God for it. See, which is not the right way. So there was verse, it said, Prakrite kriya manani gunay karmani sarvashah ahankar vimudu atma karta aham iti manyate. And what's the translation for that? The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. You see, in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse, first canto, second chapter, it's the 6th verse. It says, Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhaktir adokshaje ahitaki apratihata yayatma suprasidhati. And the translation says, the supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So whatever our occupation is, dharma is, humanity is, we should loving devotional service unto the Lord. We should perform our devotional service to the Lord. That's our occupational dharma of the self, of the Atma. That we should love Krishna, we should love God. Not we should try to satisfy ourselves, you see, but satisfy Krishna. Once Krishna is satisfied, everything is satisfied. That's what this verse says. The supreme occupational dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. And in the same chapter of the first canto, second chapter, 9th verse, it says, Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho sthaya upakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. Translation is, all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. So we should, whatever we want to do, we should think how we will get liberated. Not that to satisfy ourselves, our body. See, they should never be performed for material gain. We should never do anything for material gain. They will come, material things will come automatically when Krishna is happy. See, if he thinks it's right for us, he'll give it to us. If it's not right for us, then he will not give it to us. You see. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So we should not use material things for sense gratification. You see, we should use for the service of Krishna. See, it's difficult, obviously, in the material world, because we are in the material. We have so many desires, to fulfill. We have children, we have families, so it's very difficult to manage that. You see, but at least the base point is Krishna consciousness. Around, we are doing everything around it. Even the material things we are using for the service of Krishna, to satisfy Krishna, then that one Krishna will allow. You see, he knows what we need. He knows all our desires and needs. So he'll fulfill all our needs. You see, and then again there's another verse. It says, I'm just saying that just in the connection of the frustrated ambitions. You see, if we use our ambitions in the service of Krishna, then that's futile. You see, कामस्य नैन इंद्रिय प्रतिर लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थो यश्चेह कर्मभि. Translation: life's desire should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life. So if we have a healthy life, we are eating properly, we are doing everything properly, we are going to work properly, doing our job properly, and we have good health, that's important. You see, or self-preservation. So we should satisfy the inner self. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. So we should only inquire about Krishna, what Krishna likes. What Krishna likes. So that's to gain the knowledge. That's what the sages they say, because sages are kind of very satisfied, very knowledgeable. So they also know what the self is, you see. So they want to satisfy the self. So this verse I picked from, yeah, go ahead, Martha. Who commit offenses. Okay, so your question is basically that when Krishna is in our heart, he is with us, why do we commit offenses? Is that right? Is that right? Why do we use? Yeah. So 99% of our will is controlled by Krishna. Just 1% we have that free will. You see, like if you are walking on the road, and you have a small child with you. You are asking your child, hold my hand and walk. You don't, because there are cars coming and all. But the child takes away from your hand, runs away from your hand, and runs on the road. He falls down or meets some accident. It's not your fault. You were holding his hand, see. You were telling him not to go anywhere. But he ran. So that's the free will. That's how the free will works. Krishna is not telling us to kill somebody, see. But because we are in ignorance, we don't realize that those people who will commit these things, they are not self-realized. See, they don't know that Krishna is with us. See, Krishna is controlling them, but he can that 1%, they are misusing it, and because of that misuse, they have to suffer, go into the bodies of repeated birth and death. See. Does that answer your question? Are you satisfied with that?
One comment.
Yes.
give Pandavas, whatever they are. But Duryodhana did not give. So like Prabhuji mentioned, Duryodhana is not self-reliant. Exactly. Because he is not self-reliant. If you don't accept the authority of Krishna.
Bhishma says that he is the supreme lord, but Duryodhana won't accept.
Even Arjuna didn't know he's the Supreme Lord. Even Arjuna didn't know. That's why he didn't want to fight. Otherwise, when Krishna is telling him, "I'm telling you to fight," he should have instead of fought. He should have. Krishna should have narrated 700 verses to him. See, he didn't know even. But when he said, because he surrendered him as a guru, okay, you are more knowledgeable, you have all the knowledge, I surrender unto you. And then he said, Ashocyan anvashochastam pragya vadam sa bhasate gatasum na gatasum cha na anushoshanti pandita. He said, you are a fool. Why you are wasting your time? The very first verse Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 11th verse. You see, they became devotee. They were not devotee. They were devotees of Krishna, but they didn't know Krishna himself is the God. They came to know after the Bhagavad Gita, because he showed Arjuna his Virat roop, and he said that I want to see your Narayan four-handed roop as well. He showed him that. Then he realized. That's why he asked for the forgiveness. He said, "Please forgive me. I've been playing with you, sleeping on the same bed, teasing you, and sometimes even beating you up. See, as a friend. I didn't know that you are Lord of the Lord." See.
Just like Yashoda. Yashoda is also a devotee.
Yes.
But so Yogamaya covers. So it covers so that they don't. But they are in the same relation. Here Vatsalya relation, there friendly relation. So
If they understand the intimacy won't be there, they won't be exchanging
So that natural exchange of flow won't be there. That's why Yogamaya covers. So that Krishna can relish mother-child relation. Krishna doesn't want to relish, God-devotee relation. He wants to relish that mother-child and friendly, equally friendly relation. He wants experience.
He reveals himself, his identity, to only devotees. Like even gopis, they didn't know he's God. They were just mad after him. See, they will do anything. They will even leave cooking pots and everything, cooking in the middle of the something is cooking. They will leave everything and run after him, because once he plays the flute, they run after him. See, they didn't know, because that was like that's the one actually. We should the gopis, they had unalloyed devotion for him. You see, they didn't have anything in mind, that because they just wanted to please him. It's a two-way kind of love. Krishna wants to be loved, and he wants to love the loved ones. So if we love Krishna, he'll give us love back. You see, but if we don't bother about him, like he feeds everybody, whether ants or elephants, they are all fed. Even atheists are fed as well in this world. So many people, they are atheists, they are fed as well. See, why? Because he cares for everybody. He says, I'm your father. Pita ahamasya jagato mata data pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkara rig sam yajur evacha. So he says, I'm the father of everybody, even the grandfather, the mother. See, he is everybody's father. So it's like for example, like if a father has few children in the family, see, few sons. Some sons are good, they care for their parents, you see, for their father. Some they don't. Nowadays they even leave their parents and go and have their own kind of, they call it nuclear family or something. You see, they have that kind of family. You see, they don't bother about their. But if they want to come back after some time, sorry, father, we made mistake. We want to come back. Tomorrow's Father's Day, by the way. So they say we want to come back home. Or here I've seen on Father's Day they come on that day to meet their parents. You see, so if they want to come back, father will never say no. He'll say, come back, please come back. He'll look after you, see. Father, see. So that's the difference between children and father, you see. But the son which is good, he'll always be in the nearer to the child, or to the father, see. Father always have more affection for him.
Draupadi was being
She really cries for me.
Exactly. Yeah, because Draupadi is thinking, okay, my husbands can save, or Dhritarashtra can save, or Bhishmacharya can save, and she is asking all of them.
Yes.
So that's why Krishna is saying, okay, whenever she calls, then so that is called Anyada Saranam Nasti, Tvameva Saranam Mama. You are the one.
Yes. Even at the gambling time, I think if you have read the story, in the same story it says, Rukmani asked him, when they were losing in the gambling, why didn't you help them? See, because the uncle was there on the side, Shakuni, helping them. You are more you are gambler against you're top of the gambler. You see, why didn't you help them? You see, but he said he didn't call me. He said, I don't want you. You see, I was sitting outside. He only had to call me. Krishna, you also come. Because they said, I can't play. So he left me out. He should have said, no, when Shakuni can play for you, Krishna will play for me. So Yudhishthira would have said that Krishna will play for me. Then you know who will win, you see. Then Duryodhana had no chance. But it's all kind of destiny, see. But Krishna wanted to kill everybody in bulk.
One point, the second point on the same. Okay, so in the Kshatriya dharma, if opponent king challenges you for a fight, I have to fight. If opponent king invites you for a gambling, I have to play. I cannot accommodate someone else to play. So Yudhishthira Maharaj perfectly follows dharma. So that's the reason he knows Krishna is, but as a Kshatriya dharma, he played.
Yes.
And he accepted the destiny. He did not repent, even after losing.
Yes.
He did not repent, oh, I would have called Krishna. No, he accepted the destiny. He perfectly followed.
Yeah.
He is dharma personified, no? Yudhishthira Maharaj is dharma personified.
Yeah. He said, as Draupadi called me, I was there. If Yudhishthira would have called me, come and play for me, I would be there and I would have won. But as Prabhuji explained, it's a destiny. It's all, and Khetri, he was very Dharmaraj. Yeah, he is omnipotent, Mother. He is present everywhere. See?
it is like as a super soul, Krishna is telling, suppose if I am not tuned to listen to him, I will never understand. Prabhupada clearly says in his classes, like the radio, you want to listen to some radio, you have to tune the radio to match the frequency. Then you can listen. So same way, if I am not tuned,
See,
Prabhupada clearly explains like, suppose if someone is started smoking, he will give signs that it is bad for him. But people still push and do that. Yeah, he is telling because he is not tuned to listen to super soul, he won't take what is being signals which are coming in.
like Prabhuji gave class other day. We had our mentor class, and Prabhuji explained as well. See, there's an object of senses, mind, intelligence, and the soul. So you see, it goes in the kind of coordination. If we see the object, if we get attracted to it, mind will say, yeah, get it. And then mind will refer to intelligence, shall I get it? Intelligence will say no. And about that is soul. Soul will say definitely no. For sense, if you want for senses, no. See, but if he doesn't accept their from soul and intelligence, then he'll do the wrong thing, isn't it? As we Prabhuji explained nicely the other day. See, so that's how it goes in coordination. So if we don't accept from our intelligence, which is Krishna says, I'm the intelligence of the intelligence. See, so intelligence refers to Krishna as well. See, Krishna, intelligence is come to us by Krishna. So if he's telling us not to do this, it's wrong for you. See, like many people, they want to buy big cars, like sports cars and all, but they get frustrated. They can't buy, or even if they buy, they can't repay, and the car is collected back. So they can't maintain it. You see, yeah. So it's all frustration comes because they don't follow their intelligence. You see, Krishna is telling don't, or they are like accident. And if we don't buy, if we say no, it's not right for me, I won't buy that. You see, then we have used our intelligence, and maybe we have saved our life. We could have had serious accident in the car. You see, we could have lost our life. So that's where Krishna saved us. You see, so it's up to us how we use our intelligence. You see, that small will, how we use it. You see, that's Krishna's will. I'll just read through few more verses. I had a long list of it, but I don't think we can cover it today. So there's another in the same one. Following verses, there's text 43. A living entity desires comfort for his body and makes many plans, as I was explaining. See, for this purpose. But actually, the body is the property of others. Indeed, the perishable body embraces the living entity and then leaves him aside. See, so this body is only temporary. The one inside is eternal, that lives forever. See, body we keep on changing, but if we just think of body only, how to decorate our body, how to satisfy our body, then we'll be frustrated. You see, because millions and millions we earn through our endeavors, as we learn today's verse. You see, sukhaya dukha mokshaya. If we think for the happiness of the body, we'll be frustrated, you see, because everything will be left behind. The slave will be wiped and account will be zero. So we'll start from 0 to 1. But if we have Krishna consciousness, even little bit in this life, even 1% will carry from the 2%. If we have 99%, we'll only 1% cover. If we do 100%, then direct to Lord. We don't have any barriers, you see. So if we give 100% in this life only, then we don't have to wait for the second life, you see. And we don't know which body will be, see, in the second life. So it's better to finish in this life only. And Prabhupada has opened the gates for us. Now come inside and, perform your devotional service according to my instructions, you see. Okay, I'll give you one shloka, which is in Varaha Purana. Varaha Purana. Vara Purana is a conversation between Lord Varadev and Bhumi Devi, the earth. So he says, Sithite manasi sushvaste sarire satiyo naraha dhatu same sithite smartha vishwarupam cha mamajam tathastha miryamanam tu kashta pashana sannibham aham smrami madbhaktam nayami paramam gatim. The translation is, he says, O Bhumi Devi, the entire universe is my body, Sariram. See, I do not have births or deaths. I am Ajo. See, I do not have births or death. When my bhaktas with Mahavishwasam, they have good, strong faith in me, with Mahavishwasam, surrendered to me, while they are still in a state of tranquil mind and healthy body, and reflect about me as Sarva Adharan, root cause of all, Niyantha, one who commands from within, Sarveshi, the ultimate, Ashaniyan, one who is fit to be worshipped, Sarva Vyaptan, all pervasive, and Nitya Sanitan, one who is always near. Then I think of them at their last moment, when they are totally unconscious, like a log or a stone, and lead them by Arch Yardi Margam to my Parampadam, and bless them to have Nitya Kamikarya Bhagam to me there. These are words by the Varadev. He said, at the end, if you surrender to me in the beginning, then at the end, even if you are unconscious, like a log or a stone, like or you're in coma or something, then still I'll guide you. I'll take you to my Parampadam. That's it. So you don't worry about that. Once you are surrendered, Krishna, I am yours. See, in Rama Avatar, he said, Sakurdeva Parpanayas eti chayachate abhayam sarvadatasmai dadami etat vartam mama. I take vow that if you just surrender, say once, I surrender to you, I am yours. Lord Ram, I am yours. Then I'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it. I'll relieve you from everything. Same thing. Then in the Dwapara Yuga, Krishna said, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Aja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Mashucha. You are guaranteed. See, just surrender. I'll wipe off all your sins, see, and take you back to my abode. See. So these are all guarantees from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga he has given. See, and our Srila Prabhupada, who is empowered by Krishna, he has guaranteed for us. I guarantee you. Just hold my dhoti and I'll take you back. See. Yeah, see. Yes. Not even jokingly, even mockingly. People who mockingly call Krishna, they were delivered. Like, he was, what was his name? Who was killed by Krishna in the, who was swearing at Krishna for 100 times. Shashupal. Shashupal, he was swearing at Krishna. He was delivered in front of everybody. They saw that he was delivered. You see, he just merged into Krishna, his soul. Brahmajyoti, but he merged into Krishna. See. So at least whatever, he got liberated, see.
Yeah, all the demons who were killed by Krishna, they were all liberated.
Yes, anybody who died at even the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they were all delivered, you see, because they saw Krishna. They died in presence of Krishna. When they will only come down when the millennium starts again, you see. They'll be there when everything is revived again. Yeah, people in Golok Vrindavan, they will not be affected. They will be with Krishna. See, that's what our goal is. You see, that's what Prabhupada set the goal for. Yes, we are just lying. We have nothing to do there. So that's why all the rishis muni who do so many penances and all for years and years, not surrendering directly to Krishna, they go into the Brahmajyoti. See, they I don't know, for whatever reason how they do it, but they go into the Brahma Jyoti. They don't go to the Golok Vrindavan. So even the demigods in heaven, they feel that we have a good chance. The people on earth, they have better chance than even people in heavenly planets to go back to Golok Vrindavan just by chanting. I have another verse which I have just learned a few days ago. Okay, this is from Padma Purana. It says, Naham vasami vaikunthe yoginam hridayena cha mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami narada. Neither do I reside in Vaikuntha nor in the hearts of the yogis, but I dwell where my devotees sing my name, O Narada. That's why we start with the Kirtan first. See, whenever we do class, because Lord Vishnu or Krishna, he himself gets interested there. So I'm not even living in Vaikuntha, but wherever my devotees are singing my Kirtan, my songs, I live there, I stay there. Nam Vasami Vaikunthe. I'm not even in the Vaikuntha. I'm with my devotees all the time. Sorry, I didn't get that. They know, but they want to get Krishna they will ultimately get the liberation. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita as well. They are also coming back to me, but they are going through the long route. Like, if you're going to London, M1, M6, M1, like that. But if you go through A1, yeah, you will still get there, but it will be longer run for you, isn't it? Yeah. You'll be putting a lot of effort through the signals and giving up a lot of fuels, using a lot of fuel as well to get London. But if you go through M1, then it will be faster. Motorway. So that's what we've been taught by our Guru Parampara, Acharyas. Get the right way, chant and be happy. Who wants to do?
Durva's Muni got a garland and gave it to him, and Indra gives that garland to his elephant.
Yes.
And
Aravita.
Aravita throws it and tramples on it. So then Durvasa curses him, saying that you will lose all your opulence. We should take in a different way. They are lessons for us how to behave. Okay?
Etiquette, yeah.
So if there is no example, it's difficult to learn. Suppose if you say, give respect to this, but if there is a story behind it, you can understand it better, relate to it better. Yeah, real. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just read through few and then we'll stop. I think. Yeah, okay. So a living entity desires comfort for his body and makes many plans for this purpose. But actually the body is the property of others. Indeed, the perishable body embraces the living entity and then leaves him aside. Since the body itself is ultimately meant to become stool or earth, what is the meaning of the paraphernalia related to the body, such as wives, residences, wealth, children, relatives, servants, friends, kingdoms, treasuries, animals, and ministries? They are also temporary. What more can be said about this? So, this also explains that attachment is very difficult to get out of it. See, so we should detach our mind from all these things. We can say that they have been given to us by Krishna. only for this life. We should not get attached to it. When somebody goes in the family, they really start crying, and I've seen so many places as well. Nobody can even control them. They go out of control. So that's because they are too much attached to that person. You see, so attachment, we should always be detached, even if we are in the material world and the material life and the family life. We should always be detached with that mind. You see, that's why we like devotee. We consider ourselves as a family. Why? Because we have similar kind of mind. We have similar kind of idea. You see, we consider ourselves as a family, Prabhupada's family and our spiritual family. You see. So these are all temporary things which have been explained in the. Actually, I forgot to mention because of this computer thing. All this comes from it's a conversation between Prahlad Maharaj with his co-students in the pupils in the school. You see, he was only 5 years old. But what happened when his mother Kayadu, she was pregnant, and his father Hiranyakashipu, he went to Mandrachal mountain for penances for 60,000 years. You see, for very kind of severe penances. So in his absence, because he had created havoc in the heavenly planet and earth and everywhere, Hiranyakashipu, Lord Indra wanted to kill him, but they couldn't defeat him. He was so powerful because of his spiritual power or whatever. You see. So when he went for long kind of penances, they came and captured his wife Kayadu. You see, and that time she was pregnant. But when they were going, the devotee comes in. You see, Narad Muni, is called Deva Rishi, the Rishi of he guides only the Devatas or the heavenly people. See, Deva Rishi. See, he's called. So he's a devotee of Lord Krishna. You see, he realized that's not right. He's telling Indra, this is not right. She hasn't got first of all she is pregnant, and then she hasn't got person to protect her. You see, that's his husband, her husband. You see, Hiranyakashipu. He's not there to protect her. So it's not right for you to take somebody control her. You see, you should leave her alone. So when Indra realized that he's doing the wrong thing, he went back. Then she said, now I'm pregnant. I feel unprotected. How am I going to survive? You see. So then Narad Muni took her to her ashram. See, and she said, I'll take care of you. While she was in the ashram, he used to give her that spiritual knowledge. And this spiritual knowledge, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that when I was in the womb, my mother, she got the knowledge from this thing, but because don't take offense, because it's said here, I'm not saying. He said because she's a woman, she's less intelligent. She didn't realize she didn't get the knowledge into her. But I was in the womb, I got all the knowledge from him, which was about the Lord. See, so he's telling his peoples that don't waste your time and the material things. You see, get the spiritual. So this is all and then all these verses have come from this one. You see, he's repeating whatever Narad Muni told his mother in the womb. You see. So okay, verse 45. All this paraphernalia is very near and dear as long as the body exists. But as soon as the body is destroyed, all things related to the body are also finished. Therefore, actually, one has nothing to do with them. But because of ignorance, one accepts them as valuable. Compared to the ocean of eternal happiness, they are most insignificant. What is the use of such insignificant relationship for the eternal living being? Then I'll read the last couple of verses of the same chapter. Okay. My dear friends, this is Prahlad Maharaj saying again. See, my dear friends, O son of the demons, in the same favorable way that one sees himself and takes care of himself, take to devotional service to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present everywhere as the super soul of all living entities. And the 54 is, O my friends, O sons of demons, everyone, including you, the yakshas and rakshasas, the unintelligent women, shudras, and cowherd men, the birds, the lower animals, and the sinful living entities, can revive his original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga. So even birds can be, if they realize in that life and that body, that Krishna is this, like elephant. We all heard the Gajaraj story. See, he remembered prayers from his previous life, and he called Lord Krishna, "Come and help me. I forgot you, but at least." So he came and killed that crocodile. See, relieved him. So even animals can revive themselves. See, from the animal body. See, so even that's why we devotees, like we've been taught by our acharyas at Prabhupada that we should chant loudly. See, that's why we go for Harinam Sankirtan. Even the trees, they say they can be revived. See, they can get the consciousness. See, in them, and they can get liberated as well. See, by hearing their Harinam. See, they can hear. See, they have that power. Even trees. So it's been said, we are not making things up. It's all narrated here, you see. Women, shudras, cowherd men, the birds, the lower animals, and the sinful living entities can revive his original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga. If we just do the Bhakti Yoga, chant Hare Krishna, and then we'll be happy. And then I'll read the last one, text 55. In this material world, in this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere, is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. The scriptures also are meant for that only. The realize Govinda. Think of Govinda, talk of Govinda, see, hear of Govinda, see, of Krishna, see. Then you'll be revived. See. You'll get the eternal life. See. Okay? Anything else? Any other doubts, Mataji, you have? Or any comments? Sure? Okay? So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry for the hitch. I'm not very good at this. Even people good at it, they couldn't do it. I'll try to learn more about it. Next time I think I'll try to do better. Yes. Yeah. No. We carried on.
So tomorrow
He's Prabhupada initiated as well.
Yeah, Prabhupada is a
Disciple. And he's initiating Guru as well.
thank you, Damodarvilas.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Nice class and a nice discussion. Thank you, Mataji.
It's always good to ask questions, you see. It clears doubts